Well, welcome to the second block of Pink Ice. This one happens to be a lovely foundation piece block, and I am not a fan of wasting lots of paper. So what I tend to do is take my foundation paper here and trace it over my pieces here. So you can see I do that. I usually just trace the outer lines, put those together, and then I trace the inner line. So you can see how that works. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to start with our paper here. And I have pre-folded this to make sure that I know exactly where my things are going to go. So once we do that, I take and I've cut this right on the edge here, which will be our block size. Now I've cut triangles to the right size, and I'm going to put the triangle right in here, okay? And I'm going to take this over to my iron and press it this side down, okay? So I'm going to press the fabric to the square. Okay, you can see I pressed it down. Now my first piece is going to go right here. So what we do is we peel it back and you fold on the line, okay? This is lined right up against the edge. You see it's right up against this edge. Fold it here, and now the next step, pretty easy. We're going to take this over here. So I'm going to slide you slightly so that you see this a little better. We're going to take this. This is a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, this is my kind of add a quarter ruler, and I am going to trim off right here that 1/4 inch. Now, you can do what you want with these little scraps, but now we put this next piece, okay, this next piece is going to line up right here because it's going here. We're going to line it up with this top edge and make sure that you have plenty of fabric underneath. I cut these kind of generous so that we have plenty of room. Now what you'll note, I'll move that back out of the way. We keep this lined. If you're going to have anything overlap, make sure that this bottom piece, this purple piece, is a little bit over the edge if you need it. And now I'm going to, so my presser foot right here, this notch is what I'm lining up with that piece of freezer paper. I'm going to go right along this edge of it. Okay, lift my foot, trim my piece, and next thing you know is we've got this piece here. So we're going to then flip this, and we can flip it like this, move back out again. We're going to flip it like this and finger press. Okay, we're going to finger press this down. And now I'm going to go over to my iron here and show you, I'm going to quickly press this piece down here. Now, when you press these, make sure you're pressing this dull side, putting your iron here. So it's always the dull side up where you've drawn your lines, and that's how you press it. Now you'll notice we have a nice piece here, very crisp. I love how this makes it really a crisp line. Now I'm going to scroll back over here again. I'm going to move you just a little. And this next step, pretty simple. We're going to fold our piece back here. You can use your fingernail to kind of peel it a little bit. Okay, but you can see why having pre-pressed this, my line, it just popped kind of right to it. You take this, put your line here. All right, take a nice little piece. There we go. Now we've added our 1/4. Now we're going to take our slightly larger piece here from my pile, and we're going to do just what we did before. Okay, move this out of the way. Move you back here where you can see a little bit closer. And what you'll see is I'm lining these up again, okay? Lining our edges up. I'm going to line them up over here because that's where I'm going to trim. Put these down here. Put my presser foot down. Put my needle in first, so I make sure that I hold those right where I need them. Put my foot down. And again, line up with this edge right against there. this piece. Move you back out again. All right, so we have this piece. We're gonna finger press it over. I'm going to take it over to my iron. I have pressed it down, and now we're going to take it over here. Move you again. And now I'm going to trim this. And again, it doesn't matter what straight line you use as long as you're using a straight edge to make it nice and easy. Now, these pieces are folding really, really crisply because I used some starch on them prior to cutting my strips. I firmly believe in using the starch on these. It makes these work much easier and they finger press so much more nicely. So starch is your friend with these. I'm going to trim these up, and if for some reason your rotary cutter is not behaving, you can always use a pair of scissors. And then we're going to take and trim, oops, a little piece here. Okay. Now the very careful part is trimming these down here because these little edges here will help you when you line up your pieces later. So, you know, those are always kind of nice to have trimmed out, and this is right off of the template. Get rid of my little pieces here. And now what we do is you can just kind of peel the edge. Sometimes it's easier to go from the middle. Oops, got a little extra there. And I just kind of flick at it to open it up. Here we go, right there. If you've got a thumbnail, it works really well. Go, put your thumbnail on it, peel it apart. And we have our perfect little piece, and we have a reusable template. Now, I have used freezer paper templates of this at least 20 times for this pattern. You're going to use it not quite 20 times. So just going to keep making these, and we'll move from there. Okay, we're back again. We're going to work on our next piece here. With this one, when you make your lines, okay, you want to make sure that you line up the edge here so that this works this way. Always works best for that. So you're not kind of cross-cutting the grain. So I have this on here. I'm going to quickly make sure that I have my 1/4 inch. You'll note I changed to a different one. Doesn't really matter as long as you add the next white piece on here. Again, aligning the bottoms. Okay, so the bottoms are what matter here, so we're going to align the bottoms. Okay, fold it back, finger press. And make sure we press this really well. Okay, trim this one up. And voila, there we go. Okay, again, you're going to aim right here to get your pretty points. And now we'll add from the other side. doing it the exact same way. All right, now for the assembly of the corner pieces. As you can see, we're going to put them together kind of in this order here, and we'll get sewing. Okay, we have our corners assembled, and now we'll put it all together. Okay, so now we are going to do some matching here. We are going to put together our block like this. So when I do this, one of the things I make sure of, remember we talked about how important this cut is up here, and that cut is really important because it's going to help you match the tips up here, so that you line these two up right here, as you can probably see. Bring it in a little bit. Do you see how nicely those match right there? So that's what we're trying to do, is match those. And I will hold my seams here so that they nest.